They told me my baby would fall, that he'll crawl away, that I'd never sleep again. And honestly, some of that did happen. But what they didn't tell me was how much more peaceful, connected, and independent our lives would become by skipping the crib entirely. We put our baby on a Montessori floor bed at 4 months. And now he's a toddler, but I still remember how terrifying it felt. Here's how we made the floor bed safe, what went wrong, what went beautifully, and what I tweaked if I did it all again. In case you're new here, I'm Carol, and this is Raised by Intuition, helping you navigate parenting confidently with research, instinct, and zero guilt. And researching beds, that decision came straight up from the gut. Some things just feel off, even when they're standard practice. Cribs felt like tiny jails to me. I still remember vividly crying out for mine as a kid. Turns out cribs were originally designed to keep babies off cold floors and away from wild animals. Today, not exactly a concern for most parents. And here's the kicker for me and my partner. We already had an extra firm double mattress lying around. That saved us a chunk of change. And unlike a crib, this mattress could easily last a decade. But still, could a floor bed really be as safe as a crib? That question followed me around my 3rd trimester like a shadow I couldn't shake. The American Academy of Pediatrics and several leading European pediatric bodies don't recommend floor beds for babies under 2. But here's the twist. Not because they're unsafe. It's mostly because they're hard to regulate and don't fit neatly into the crib's safety standards. And when you dig into those standards, especially the ones designed to prevent SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, you'll notice something. They're about how your baby sleeps, not where. So, with a firm mattress, no loose bedding, no gaps or crevices, and a clear breathing space, we were solid. And for peace of mind, we did splurge on the best baby video monitor on the market. So I could check on my baby from the comfort of my own bed. No hovering like a helicopter required. So how exactly did we create a floor bed setup that felt safe enough for my anxious mama heart? Most Montessori rooms you see online are CISO beige and neutrals. Ours? It's not neutral perfect, as you can see. It's colorful, secondhand, but 100% kid safe. We use an extra firm, full-size mattress we already had. Most floor bed families go for something thin and firm, placed in the center of the room. Ours was thick and heavy, which meant we could safely place it flush against these 2 walls with no gaps and no shifting. The concept of setup? Coming up in the next section. On these other 2 sides, we didn't add anything at first, but the floor beneath the bed that you can see here and the rest of the room is covered in soft, play-friendly flooring. So once our son started rolling over, we added these low, soft guardrails on those open edges for extra peace of mind. And for safe sleep, we kept it super simple. Tight-fitted sheet only, and no stuffed animals in bed for the first 1.5 years. Beyond the bed, we baby-proofed the room as he hit each new milestone. Early on, we anchored all the furniture. Once he started crawling, we covered outlets and made sure there were no loose cords or small objects within reach. When he began standing, we added curtain hooks and moved adult items like lamps and lotions to higher storage. It seems like we had everything figured out, right? Except we totally didn't. So our floor bed journey definitely had some pitfalls we had to solve. Twice, our baby rolled off the mattress before we installed these guardrails. And even though he slept right through it, thanks, soft flooring, my heart absolutely stopped. Another time, he briefly got wedged between the mattress and the guardrail. Thankfully, these are breathable, and he immediately let us know by crying. So that's how we learned the hard lesson that the guardrails need to be tied to the max. When my son started crawling, naps became a guessing game. We'd read a book in bed, and then I would close the door when I left right after. And minutes later, he'd roll over, start knocking, and eventually fall asleep by the door. This usually meant shorter naps, either because the soft floor wasn't as comfy or hallway noises woke him up. Not exactly the peaceful scenario I imagined with a floor bed. Story time took a turn too. It went from cozy cuddles around a bug on his bed to me awkwardly lying next to the bed, blocking his escape route as a human guardrail. Because suddenly, exploring every inch of this room became way more interesting than the story. Every new milestone, rolling, crawling, standing, brought about a week or two of disruptive sleep and fresh worries. The key to handling it was always having reliable backup safety measures in place, soft but firm flooring, readable guardrails, and especially a video camera that alerted us whenever he moved from his safe zone. But things always quickly settle into a manageable new normal. And these milestone hiccups happen whether you're using a crib or not. And if you're navigating similar sleep challenges, I've linked some tried and tested sleep gear below, including items we rely on when sleeping away from home. But after all those ups and downs, was ditching the crib actually worth it? Honestly, it turned out even better than we'd imagined. Mornings in our house are surprisingly peaceful. My son usually wakes up calm. Sometimes he stays in bed, quietly looking around. Other times he picks up the stuffed animal that rolled off overnight, or gets up and plays with his toys. And other mornings, he heads straight to the baby gate outside and calls for us like a tiny lamb requesting room service. But the best part, it's never frantic. Never a "get me out of here" cry. And thanks to that calm start, we parents usually get an extra 30 minutes to an hour of sleep after my son is awake. That alone feels like winning the toddler lottery. And it's not just mornings either. My son sometimes will take himself to nap when he's tired, because he can easily climb to his bed. Having that kind of autonomy early on has made transitions way smoother on him. He can move, he can grab what he needs, and settle in on his own. Bedtime feels like a shared rhythm now. He picks his books, I close the curtains, we read, and then he falls asleep. And on those random nights when he wakes up crying in the middle of the night, maybe a bad dream, maybe a mystery toddler feeling, my partner can sit by his bed and rub his back. No awkward leaning over crib rails required. And on sick nights, I can sleep next to him in his bed comfortably. No cramming for me, no waking up sore. And the best part, the bed I share with my partner stays ours. We each have our own space. And when my son needs me, I can be there without giving up mine. That kind of balance is rare, and we really cherish it. So would I do it again? Absolutely, but with a few tweaks. I would use a thinner mattress, still full size though, and fully baby-proof the room from day one. That way, there's less to tweak along the way and a lot less anxiety for everyone. But let's keep it real. Parenting isn't always peaceful mornings and easy bedtimes. Sometimes you're one meltdown away from losing it. That's why I made a video on how ChatGPT saves me from snapping at my son. You'll be surprised how ChatGPT can help you stay more connected, not less, with your kids and yourself.